Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. So, highly rated film. Chris Pine is in it. Michelle Rodriguez, Hugh Grant, Justice Smith. A lot of good people in it. And it's 2 hours and 14 minutes long, but it's 7.5 on IMDb. I did not expect it to be that high. Now, me as a kid, I honestly think I played Dungeons and Dragons one time. Don't fault me. Sure, it's a great game. It just wasn't my neighborhood thing when I was growing up. I remember one kid had it and I played it. So hopefully you don't need that type of knowledge to enjoy the film. But a 7.5 suggests to me that it's just a fun film. So, I don't know. Let's see. Let's get into it. Let's find out what it's about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think. I wore my Luke, I'm your father. My son's name is Lucas. It's May 4th, so May the 4th be with you. I should be watching a Star Wars movie, I know, but I can't, I don't know. But anyway, I don't know when you're watching my review, but that's when it was recorded. Alright, that's it. Let me get into it. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. We're at the 1 hour, 9 minute, 6 second mark. Just pretty much halfway through. It's a long movie. But it's fun. It's got I don't know, the Dungeons and Dragons theme. I don't think you necessarily need to be in tune with everything Dungeons and Dragons. I bet you though it probably helps a lot. But it's fun on its own because I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I played it once, but I don't know But what's going on is Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine are, first of all, Chris Pine's wife gets killed and he has a daughter. He saves the daughter, meets Michelle Rodriguez, and they kind of become thieves. And for some reason, they get arrested, right? Justice Smith is part of their team. Hugh Grant is as well, but they get caught doing something, and they go to prison. The two of them, Michelle Rodriguez and Chris Pine. And so they kind of leave his daughter behind, and Hugh Grant starts to take care of her. And, then they finally get out of prison. They're trying to get her back, but Hugh Grant has now become bad. And he's the lord of some area and kind of, not kidnaps her, but kind of tricks her into thinking that she's better off with him than them. A lot more to that than the way I explained it. And I just don't want to go into those level of details because you'll learn them on your own when you watch this. So basically they're trying to take him down and, get his daughter back and also bring back his wife. And, using all the magic that Dungeons and Dragons has. Justin Smith plays a sorcerer, not a very good one. There's another girl in it kind of plays, what is it? I forget, but she can transform into different animals kind of thing. I forget it, Wonder Beast or something like that. I don't know. And they meet up with another guy who they just kind of met. I don't even know what his specialty is, but he seems like he's pretty good at everything kind of stuff, and he's helping them find one piece that they need to move forward. So there's a lot of that, like a lot of, I won't say puzzle pieces, it's not a puzzle, but they're all little things that they need to do in order to make this all happen. And so it's kind of an adventure, a mythological adventure, if you will. And there's a lot of interesting characters and that kind of thing. So like I said, it's interesting to me. I like it. I like the characters. I like the way they act together. I like the plot line, and I don't know any of the history. And I'll go back, I'll say it again, but I bet you, it seems like people who may know the history might really, really like it, because maybe they're referencing a lot of stuff that goes on in there. So, I don't know. They're not rolling any dice or pulling any cards or anything like that, but I think maybe the creatures or the places and stuff like that maybe have to do with it. But so far so good, and I'm going to get back to it here, and we'll see where it goes. Stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Dungeons and Dragons, what was it? Honor Among Thieves. And I have to say, everything that I said already still holds true. Worth watching, especially if you're not, or not especially, even if you're not a Dungeons and Dragon fan, it keeps you entertained. It's kind of that you know, mythical fantasy kind of movie, obviously. But with the right amount of humor and the right amount of drama to keep you interested. One thing, excuse me, I will say, I say this a lot in my reviews, it comes down to connection or emotional connection to the characters. Now, they did have 2 hours and 15 minutes essentially to play with. I think it was probably 2 hours and 8 minutes long, but whatever. You know, to build that connection. But I can't think of things that they do, but for some reason you like all the characters and you feel emotionally tied to them. There's not, I don't know how they do that. You know, sometimes they spend a lot of time going through backstories and stuff like that. They don't do this for all the characters. Not hardly any of them. But for some reason, throughout this film, there's bits and pieces that they pull in that allow you to really, you know, like the character and root for them and, you know, hope for the best or hope for the worst for them based on the character. At least the Thieves, the honor among thieves, I guess. Chris Pine, his group, Justice Smith. I already forget their names. Anyway, but like him, like they don't tell you a lot. I mean, but just through his dialogue throughout the movie and his actions, you root for him. You want him to do well. You want him to become the sorcerer that he could be. You know, and the same thing for Michelle Rodriguez's character. You know, a little bit here and there, and they pull things in, but somehow they make you feel for that character. And I don't know these characters. You know, people who know Dungeons and Dragons probably got a lot more out of this than I did. You know, like the map that you used to play on, I think, right? Or the board or whatever. I'm sure that was somehow, like there's probably so many Easter eggs in here for those kinds of people that they really enjoyed it. Or they really got annoyed with it. You have to keep that in mind too. Maybe people are like, that's not the way the game's played, that's not the character, that's blah blah. That could be it too, you know? I don't know. But for those of us who aren't in the know, it's, I'll say, mindless fun. Because the cool thing is it's not in depth. I don't mean to belittle that, but it's not like complicated and folklore and all that kind of stuff. Like, no, it stands on its own, if that's a thing. So there you go. I was entertained by it. I'm glad I liked it. I'm surprised because I didn't think I was going to be as crazy about it as the 7.5. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.